And that surprisingly awesome piece of music was called Final Dojo, and it was from Cobra Kai, the video game tie-in to the Netflix television series based around the Karate Kid universe. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Radio Redux. Yet again, it's one of these live-to-tape ones, because, well, I've had to redo this intro at least once so far, and I've got about 70 minutes until it's supposed to go live. Will they notice? Will it be up? Will LMC Cast be playing instead? Will, in fact, this whole episode be rendered useless due to time constraints and all the information therein being therefore horrendously out of date if it was to be played a week later? My guess is no. My guess is it's playing right this very minute into your ear holes via the wonders of Radio Sega. Or perhaps you are one of those fantastic and, dare I say, extremely attractive people who are getting their Radio Redux episodes via the joys of iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible. Did you know we're on Audible? Apparently we are. And many, many more, including Alf and Mark Hamill. And all of these things mean that, I've actually got to start with a correction. Yeah, I've actually got to start with a correction from 2 to 7, the last one. What did I call it? The colour commentary series, because we were talking all about the wonders of Sonic Colors Ultimate Edition and how it was, worse than Hitler or something. I can't remember. What was it that the community decided in the end? My guess is it decided one thing and decided another thing and then went back to the other thing, and now nobody knows. But a patch is either on the way or it's out, and it's either better or worse or the same, and no one really cares. If you bought it, you've already bought it. And if you weren't going to buy it, then the patch of the problems aren't going to make you want to buy it even more, are they? So anyway. We have to go back to that episode because I was talking about how I was a little bit. At one point, I was talking about how I was a little bit sad because it would have been nice to have been in the credits, because I looked at the credits. I looked at the credits recording, and it turns out that no, I wasn't. Except wait. Stop the presses from a week ago, and stop the presses that result in various retrospectives. Was it Nintendo Life this week who had the was it their turn to desperately need traffic and do a Sonic retrospective, which boils down to the usual things of how everything after this particular time frame was awful because it went into 3D and everything is awful, and the only games that were worth considering were ones that had a number after them that doesn't include 4. But whatever it was, turns out I was absolutely mistaken, because I went and looked at the recording because I was going to go stick through the blooming credits, and I don't own the game myself. Haha! I already own the one that I worked on. So it didn't, and I had the opportunity to I won the copy actually the other day. Mr. Turbo on Turbo Drive Live, who you should be following on Twitch, by the by, twitch.tv/Turbo Drive Live for near daily streams from 7 p.m. You should go on there, because he actually was doing a giveaway of marvellous copies of Sonic Colors Ultimate Edition. For the I think it was for PC. I think it's for anything actually, but mostly for PC. And he was doing that in conjunction with Sega Europe, who are a company I have heard of. And I was actually one of the people that won, but I gave it back because it felt a bit odd. It felt a bit odd being given this game when it was like, well, no, I should probably just do whatever. But lovely people at Sega Europe that are there now, giving Turbo the chance to do that. But apparently, because I was watching this recording, I'd sort of skipped through on the YouTube video to where it said Sega Europe. Completely unaware that in fact it was the original credits followed by the remake credits. I did wonder why it was so ridiculously long. But yes, so I'm in the credits. I have another video game to add to the list of things that I have worked on. I think this is video game 107. It might be 106, it might be 108. Or one either side of that. But it's roughly that. So yes, welcome game 107. You may sit yourself down there next to various other things. On the mobile version of Ace Attorney trilogy. Sit your ass down there and be quiet until you're patched. But yeah, it's kind of nice to be. Does this mean I'm officially back in the games industry, yeah? Yeah, this means that it's a thing. I'm officially part of the industry again. So that's nice. If I try for a job in the games industry again, I can at least get it. Okay. So what's the most thing you've worked on recently? Oh, Sonic Colors Ultimate. Yeah, I did a lot on work on that. Sitting down and not playing or buying it. It was very good. There's stuff to talk about this week. There is, in fact, stuff to talk about this week. Did you know there was something called a Nintendo Direct? Now, personally, not heard of these before. But it turns out that every so often, Nintendo will just go, they'll wake up in a terrifying night sweat. They just go, wake up! We must tell people things. And okay. So we've got events coming up in no, we must tell them now. Now? Yes, like 3 days time. What? Now in 3 days? We'll not wait until everything's ready. No! Now! Put together a video now! They must know! I felt a great disturbance in the value of my company shares. Tell them now! Okay. So, off we popped to the joys of Nintendo Direct, which I'll be going through over the course of today's show. But before that, I've already managed to get 11 minutes of this thing sort of buried away. We're actually going to have an arcade track now from Offroad Thunder. I hope you like your rock and roll significantly country. This is the delightfully named Rock Bumpkin. And that was Fallen Roll from Fall Guys. And before that we had, as I said, we Rock Bumpkin from Offroad Thunder, my favourite driving game back when I was a regular visitor to the arcade on the pier at Eastbourne as a way to spend my time and money and not get anywhere on the Star Wars a trilogy arcade machine, because Darth Vader would always kick my ass. Anyway, so we were going to talk a little bit, just a little bit, about the various things that were revealed during Nintendo Direct, September 2021's Nintendo Direct. Yes, that glorious time where Nintendo revealed just what they'd like you to spend your money on. We had a host of things that were revealed. Some new, some old, some where the hell have you been? But nevertheless, there's a lot for us to go through. A lot for us to discuss. We do not have time to probably go through everything. But let's go and do the traditional stuff. So we were informed that there would be in October another Nintendo Direct, which would, they swear, have the very last Mr. Sakurai Presents for Smash Brothers, or at least this version. I mean, can they reasonably do another version after this? I think Sakurai's earned he's earned his place. He's earned a holiday. He's earned the ability to not answer the phone for a while. How many things do you have to balance when you get to this many characters? Bo, by the way, if he's listening, Green Viper. Now, I happened to go on to a Radio Sega Twitch stream the other day. They're on Twitch as well, you know. Yes! Twitch.tv/Radio Sega. Go there, give them a follow. But not before you go... before you even do that, go to twitch.tv/Last Minute Continue. And make sure you get yourself a follow there so you can find out all the latest that's going on. There will be something this evening at 8:30. Always something on at 8:30 p.m. on a Tuesday and a Sunday for you to enjoy. Perhaps it's going to probably be sniping of more of them there Nazi zombies. I don't know, I've done this in a slightly... oh yeah, I got a brand new Nazi zombie and I'm going to shoot his head off with this gun. Come on now, let's get together and kill other Nazis. I got some grenades. Oh, you got some, I see. Oh, let's all go, I'll kill the zombies. They've gone to Nazis. Yep, we're going to go off and kill Hitler again, probably. I don't know, it depends who's about. Never mind that. We have got... but who's it going to be? Who's going to be the next character? Well... if there's one reason that Sakurai deserves to... I mean, apart from the ridiculous amount of work that he's done on this project, which has probably just consumed his life for the entirety of it, there was something incredibly depressive when I went on Radio Sega, and Viper, please don't get upset about this when I say this, but you made a comment that just encapsulated everything I can only assume that Sakurai feels. You're playing various battles, you got to the character select screen, you rattled off a couple of them, you had all these characters to choose from, and Viper just sighed and he just went, I don't want to play with any of these. You don't want to play with any of these? This poor man! He's not seen his family in 12 years. He's been chained in Nintendo's basement, I assume. Don't have any of them? Poor Sakurai. There's no pleasing. There's no pleasing some people. And Vipers were the really nice ones. Used to imagine what it is. I'm like, oh, I've only got these 43 characters. And 10 of those have got alternate versions of themselves. Oh, God, I just can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with any of this. Oh, poor man. But yes, of course, back in the day, we'd have called this an announcement of an announcement. And I seem to recall in the vague and distant past people getting pilloried for the mere suggestion of letting you know in advance. Advance that, might want to... There's going to be something maybe ready for you in X many weeks, or to keep an eye out for what have you. I don't know, there's some sort of vague memory of this happening, and yeah. Anyway, strangely, that voice has gotten a lot quiet over the last couple of years. I wonder why. But there's an awful lot that we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know, because presumably they're just going to go all out at this point if it's the last one. There's going to be all sorts. We know there's the one final character which no one knows what it is. There's favourites. There's ones that people would like it to be. There's ones that you guys listening to this would probably like it to be. Frankly, I'm still somewhat astounded we haven't got Shadow as an Echo Fighter for Sonic. Isn't doing the dark character, the dark version of the other character, or the what have you? Isn't that we've got bloody the Dark Samus? No one gives a shit about Dark Samus. Come on now, who was playing? Who was playing this and really went? I really want to play as Dark Samus. Nobody, literally nobody. But we had to put somebody else from bloody Metroid in, and it made sense because it was an addition that was relatively easy to do. Well, guess what? Shadow's also in that. But who else could it be? Could it be Sora from Kingdom Hearts? Oh no, another sword user. But don't worry, it's not a sword, it's a key. It's a giant key. I don't think so. Just because you've got a situation where they would I guess they'd at least need Disney's thumbs up on it, and I don't see that happening. I mean, Nintendo didn't choose to work with Disney to do another project, which we'll get to later in the show. So yeah, I don't see that happening. But then who could it be? Is it Sakurai himself? Is it the man, the myth, the legend, the most requested? I watched a fantastic fan movie where he invited himself the other day. Could it be Waluigi? The most glorious cherry on top of the most glorious cake that is the Smash Brothers Ultimate game. Prototype Robbie Rotten himself, old Waluigi. I could see it happening. Just as a look. There you go. You're happy now. Of course, no one will be, but yeah. Of course, you know what it's actually going to be. After all this, it's actually going to be another Fire Emblem character. Yeah, another Fire Emblem character who can be 4 other Fire Emblem characters, and they've got 12 different weapons and 18 different finishers, and you have to play the entire campaign mode as them before you can do anything else in the game. They're gonna patch it in. If you want to complete Smash Brothers Ultimate, first you must do this. Ah, dear. But, yeah, I've no idea who it is. No idea who it is. And that's nice. That's refreshing. I like it when we don't know things. No one's realistically sure. Is it going to be first party? Is it going to be third party? I'm willing to bet it's more of going to be third party, to be honest. But then again, who's got the money? Who's forked out? Who could that possibly be to get in there? Maybe it's not more than one character. Maybe it is more than one character, I should say. We had a piranha plant in a pot. Who's to say the sandbag? Who's to say the sandbag won't finally get his revenge? Actually, I'd be quite down for that. I'm quite down for that. It turns out that the ultimate victor of the ultimate Smash Brothers game is the Smash sandbag. Oh, poor little fella. You've been beating up on him for years. Well, just you wait. Or playable master hand. There's one. There's one that'll make people go crazy. Or perhaps some that go crazy thanks to an echo fighter of master hand to turn into crazy hand. We're going well off track now. But yes, that's a thing. It's on its way. There's nothing you can do about it. I'll get into more of the other stuff in a minute. But first, let's have another music track just to break things up nicely. How about this track? I'm going to say it's Serenade of Water from Ocarina of Time, but it's from the Club Ocarina album, the EDM project that OCR did. We'll have this, and then perhaps we'll talk about Zelda just a little bit.
For 15 years, bringing you the best in video game music. This is Radio Redux.
Tetris Effect there, Hydelic, with Morning Star from that. An exceptionally pretty game, Tetris Effect. If you ever get the opportunity, honest to goodness, if you ever get the opportunity to play this in virtual reality, do so. It is an experience that will change the way you think about puzzle games. Before that, of course, like I said, from the Club Ocarina project of Overclock Remix, we had Serenade of Water, and that was by Prototype Raptor, that particular EDM version of the Ocarina track. So yes, what other things were revealed within the Nintendo Direct? Well, there were things like Splatoon 3, which looks like a Splatoon game, funnily enough. There's not much to say there. It's kind of more of the same, but refined. But to be honest, that's kind of what Splatoon 2 was, and people really liked that. So, Splatoon 3, they've refined what they're going to do from the second one, and you're going to go and buy it despite it being effectively the same thing. Really? It'll be exceptionally popular anyway, and people will talk about the versus battles over, I don't know which way round you have the loo roll, or what's better, toast or cake, whatever the heck the other things are. There'll be loads of those on the way. Rune Factory 5 is coming out in March 2022. The Arcade Archives of Pac-Man / Arcade Archives of Xevious, or Zevious, I can't remember how you do that one. Those are obviously now out. Wreckfest, not the confused with Rexfest, is out in fall 2021. So basically now. Really? Shin Megami Tensei 5 is out in November. Surviving the Aftermath is holiday 2021. Oh boy, Nintendo, you're not kidding on that one. Glad to see you've been paying attention. Hot Wheels Unleashed is indeed unleashed in less than a week, September 30th. Deltarune Chapters 1 and 2 is, of course, out now, as is ActRaiser Renaissance. One that did strike my interest was Castlevania Advance Collection. I always like it when they do advanced collections of things. That's really good. Shadowrun Trilogy is out in 2022. I'm semi-expecting that to get pushed, to be honest. There's always just seems to be something with Shadowrun. Something happens with Shadowrun that causes bad things to happen. It's through nobody's fault. We've got Metroid Dread, which is out in October, but if you go on the website, basically the entire lore of this game is up there. They're not doing little pieces of text. They're doing big, massive dumps, chapters and chapters of lore and backstory that it might be beneficial to know before going into this game. It worries you a bit. Worries you a bit. It's like this is all really important stuff. Yeah. Oh yes, you need to view it. Why isn't it in the game? Reasons. That reason wouldn't be space, would it? No, not at all. So anyway, Metroid Dread is on the way. Triangle Strategy, bizarrely, I saw somebody else mention this on Twitter the other day. Triangle Strategy, a game called Triangle being done by Square, presumably published by Pentagon Entertainment or something like that. Dying Light Platinum Edition is out mid-October. Dying Light 2 Stay Human Cloud version is out February 4th next year. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is coming to Switch. Yes, you can get it. You can get the chance to see one of the greatest twist endings in a video game that now everyone knows about, so it's rather lost its impact. But that's coming out beginning in November. We've got Disney's Magical World 2 Enchanted Edition. That's holiday 2021, otherwise known as Kingdom Hearts without the Kingdom Hearts characters. You've got Mario Golf Super Rush is getting a second free content update, which is also out now. November 2022, Animal Crossing New Horizons gets at last a new content update. which will appease many people. Chocobo Grand Prix. Yes, that's happening. I guess that we're getting a well, people have been calling it a kart racer. It really isn't. It really doesn't look like it. It's a racing game. It looks like it's got more in from what we've seen. I'd say it has more in comparison with All Stars Racing actually than it does with Mario Kart. But of course, Mario Kart is like BIC. It's the byword for the actual product that it is nowadays. It looks cheap. It looks cheerful. When are we gonna get the ultimate fighting game? This is what I want to know. When are we gonna get Chocobo versus Rappy? We've been waiting years. When's it going to happen? Get on your Twitter. Demand it now. Tag various important people from both companies in it. Chocobo versus Rappy. The grudge match of the millennia. When are we getting it? I don't know. But we're getting Chocobo Grand Prix in 2022 at a random time. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity expansion pass Wave 2. Wave 2 Calamity Harder, I assume. October 29th, 2021. That's coming. As always, the trailer for that looked really nice indeed. I will get round to playing the Hyrule Warriors games that I actually bought recently. But as usual, I can't get anywhere near the Switch, and I'm doing a lot of PC stuff at the minute. Disco Elysium, the final cut, is bizarrely, actually very bizarrely split, I thought. This is some kind of unusual contractual situation, I think, because we've got Disco Elysium, the final cut is digitally available on October 12th, 2021, but the physical version is not hitting the shelves until early 2022. Again, it's unusual. We don't get a specific on even the month on that, just that it's early 2022. So you've got at least 2, perhaps 4 months difference. Very strange. Voice of Card, The Isle Dragon Roars is out on October 28th and looked boring as heck. Mario Party Superstars, in case you really wanted to lose even more friends, that's on October 28th, 2021. October 29th, 2021. Sorry, I was reading the Voice of Cards one again. And Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. That's in summer 2022, which I could only assume is just this collection of Monster Hunter stories in a breakfast news situation, done by various different characters presenting shows on that concept. I can only assume. One game I didn't mention there was Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which, I'll be honest, when I saw this, my immediate thought was, well, somebody's been seeing all the various shots of everywhere deserted due to COVID-19 and got an idea. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is basically, hey, what if we just went through this as a game? Kirby wakes up in a mysterious place and it's full of deserted shopping malls and cars which are grown over and all sorts of other things. And everyone seems to have disappeared. Yes, because they're hiding indoors. And rightfully so, because there's a massive pandemic going on. And Kirby, put your mask on. What do you mean you've inhaled your own mask? For God's sake, he's done it again. You're a menace to society. Oh, he's got COVID. He's in the ICU. He's inhaled the entire hospital, and that's the end of it. Bad end. But it does feel like this is going to be Nintendo's. This is Nintendo's project we'll hear this. It's going to be Sakurai, and there's going to be an interview, and he's going to be. I was watching the news, and I was startled to see areas that I have seen and been really, really busy with people, suddenly devoid of any people at all on the recordings. And I thought, wouldn't it be good to have and unusual to see Kirby in such a similar situation, and it gave me an excuse to do a Kirby game and get away from this nightmare which is Smash Brothers Ultimate. Oh my god, please let me go. Please, I just want to rest. So we had that, and another game. Oh my god, the announcement, 4 years in the making. It's been fucking like 4 years. We finally found out more about Bayonetta 3. It actually exists. We were starting to think it was like the Yeti or something. We'd seen signs of it. We vaguely remembered seeing a very small trailer of it that came out. But turns out, yes, in fact, that is true. It's a thing. And there is much to discuss. Bayonetta's got another new look, which is confusing because the trailer very much specifically showed her Game 1 look before, she fell apart. It's I don't know. What's going to happen with. She's got a new look, which is flamenco look. But didn't Luca have a flamenco look in 2? What's going on? Why are the makers of Bayonetta obsessed with flamenco? What's happening there? What's happening with anything? One of these ones that showed us a bunch of action. Hair tarantula. I gotta say, I was like, ooh, that looks interesting. That looks fun. We got the wink at the camera for, oh, sorry for taking so long. Wink. Sorry that we couldn't be asked to tell you anything for 4 years. Wink. But it's coming out next year. Good. You'll notice though it didn't give you a month or even a season or a quarter or anything, just 2022, so it might be pushed back further. Please no. We want to see this game. But yeah, what's going on with that? She's got new guns, and if you guys saw that, they had Colour My World written on them, which it's one of these things that Bayonetta's guns obviously relate to songs. So I'm assuming it's Colour My World, but I'm assuming it's the Petula Clark version and not the Chicago version, because the Petula Clark version has some very interesting lyrics which you could see being applied to this game in one way or another. So it's, you'll never see a dark cloud hanging around me. Now there is only blue sky to surround me. There's never been a grey day since you found me. Everything I touch is turning to gold. So you can colour my world with sunshine yellow each day, or you can colour my world with happiness all the way. Just take the green from the grass and the blue from the sky up above, and if you colour my world, just paint it with your love. Just colour my world. It literally goes there in the lyrics. There's a lot of other. Just as long as I know you'll be thinking of me, there'll be a rainbow always up above me. Since I found the one who really loves me, everything I touch is turning to gold. It sort of does that twice. There's so that's something that's possible, but the real interesting one, there's a real kicker. Did you spot this in the final shot where we saw that mysterious swords person? I honestly couldn't tell if it was male, female, who it was supposed to be. But the interesting thing was that katana. Number one, there was a cat's paw print on it, and we know that previously Luca's obviously been referred to as Cheshire. So there is like a cat motif thing going on there with that, perhaps. But even more interestingly, dangling from the handle of that was Teresa's doll. That weird little cat doll that young Teresa was dragging around for the entirety of Bayonetta 1. Interesting. Oh, my goodness, we're running out of time already. Goodness. Oh, I'll have to move straight on. We've got to have one more song, but I really want to have that at the end. So let's go on to, hey, Nintendo Online is getting more stuff, which you'll have to pay more for. Yes, there's going to be, along with the online, there's going to be an expansion pack that will mean that you have to cancel your current thing and sign up to something else, judging by what they said. But Nintendo 64 is coming to that, and you're going to get you're going to get the opportunity to buy a 50 quid representation of the N64 controller, which will work with your Nintendo Switch, which actually I think is actually quite a nice little thing. And it's good to have something official like that in terms of using it. Also gives modders something they can get their hands on at a later date, of course. But yeah, there's going to be a bunch of stuff heading over there. So we saw some ones that were going to make it really interesting, and there's a couple there which are clearly the ones they're banking on you spending money on just for them. So there's Super Mario 64, obviously, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, Light Up Wars. You've got Yoshi's Story there, Sin and Punishment. Okay. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Win Back, Mario Tennis, Dr. Mario 64, and on the way at some point, according to them, there's going to be Banjo-Kazooie, F-Zero X, Majora's Mask, Mario Golf, Pokemon Snap, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, Paper Mario, and Banjo-Kazooie, like I said. I gotta say, they didn't do a particularly good job in selling the look of those. When they started playing as part of the video package, I don't know if you guys saw this, the Ocarina of Time looked awful. I know Ocarina of Time has aged really badly, just in general, but something about the way they showed it just made it look like it was some sort of horrendous, some horrendous rip of the game as opposed to normal Ocarina of Time. Also, I could only assume this is going to be like the normal N64 games, right? This is like the original versions, i.e. not the versions we've had since that may have come to 3DS or what have you, with fixes and enhancements or anything like that. It's going to be a bog standard one with maybe a couple of critical errors that they've fixed, but nothing to make it, better. We're not going to get it's not going to be the Master Quest version, is it? Ocarina, we're not going to get that. So yeah, could have been better. And then the really bizarre one was that Sega Genesis Mega Drive is coming to Nintendo Switch Online as well. And you can buy from Nintendo and licensed from Sega a Genesis controller, which I really hope will be localized into Mega Drive. But yeah, there's 14 games coming on there. So you're going to have the opportunity to play, quote, select titles. Select of those titles can be played online. But whether or not any of these will support online doesn't matter. There's going to be Sonic 2, Street of Rage 2, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hardcore, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes, Phantasy Star 4, Ristar, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Return the Ninja Master, which is slightly surprising considering, Strider, and Musha. Musha? Who the hell decided Musha was going to be in there? Firstly, thanks to Sega's prolific porting of things to various collection. You can get pretty much all of these for like 79p on Steam or wherever, and have been able to for years. So I'm not quite sure why this is suddenly a thing, but nobody's thought of Musha. Somebody in Nintendo has requested that specifically. Somebody at Nintendo played that as a kid obsessively and wants it on the Switch. Nobody's wanted Musha. Not one single person. Not even when it came out on Wii. It came out on WiiWare. Did anybody want Musha? Musha, by the way, is Musha. It is not your gender-swapped version of everyone's favourite Eddie Murphy voiced Disney dragon. But it's like a actual third of scrolling game. So just go and look it up. Go and look up, because you don't bloody know. No one does. So I don't know why they're pretending. But that's on there as well. I don't know. There's that's really selling it. It's almost like the one Sonic game on there. Of course, it's going to be 2. It's not going to be 1, because 1's everywhere and there's no point in it. It's not going to be 3 or 3 and Knuckles because of the mess. I'm surprised Shinobi 3's on there, but ultimately nobody. Kazuya Bloodlines is an interesting one, very interesting one for an edition. Stride's had problems in the past, but like all the likes of like Phantasy Star 4 and Echo the Dolphin, Streets of Rage 2, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mean Bean Machine, Golden Axe, even Gunstar Heroes. Those have been out and about and available for ages. Is it really much of a selling point? Would you pay a subscription service to play these games on your Switch when you can probably get them digitally for the cost of a month? Like 90% of them. Not including Musha. I don't know. It's something to think about, isn't it? I'd love to talk more about this, but I simply haven't got time. There's a Rexy waiting in the wings, anxiously, terrified that how far this show is going to overrun. So I'm going to leave you with one final piece of music. That is from Pistol Whip, the game Pistol Whip, and this is the track called Embers featuring Jill Harris. I'll be back soon with some more Radio Redux, but next week you've got some more LMC cast. If you want, you can join me over on Twitch momentarily for some more video games on twitch.tv/Last Minute Continue. But until next time, I've been Kevin. Bye for now.
Bad boy.